You are listening to the Wikipedia page of the April Fool's Day. The disputed association between 1 April and foolishness is in Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. In the Nun's Priest's Tale, a vain cock Chanticleer is tricked by a fox on since March began 30 days and 2, i.e. 32 days since March began, which is 1 April. However, it is not clear that Chaucer was referencing 1 April, since the text of the Nun's Priest's Tale also states that the story takes place on the day when the sun is in the sign of Taurus had Yron 20 degrees and 1, which would not be 1 April. Modern scholars believe that there is a copying error in the extant manuscripts and that Chaucer actually wrote, "Sin March was gone." If so, the passage would have originally meant 32 days after March, i.e. 2 May, the anniversary of the engagement of King Richard II of England to Anne of Bohemia, which took place in 1381. In 1508, French poet Eloy d'Amerville referred to a poisson d'avril, April Fool, literally April's fish, possibly the first reference to the celebration in France. Some writers suggest that April Fools originated because, in the Middle Ages, New Year's Day was celebrated on 25 March in most European towns, with a holiday that in some areas of France, specifically, ended on 1 April, and those who celebrated New Year's Eve on 1 January made fun of those who celebrated on other dates by the invention of April Fool's Day. The use of 1 January as New Year's Day became common in France only in the mid-16th century, and that date was not adopted officially until 1564 by the Edict of Roussillon, when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, as called for during the Council of Trent in 1563. However, there are issues with this theory because there is an unambiguous reference to April Fool's Day in a 1561 poem by Flemish poet Edward de Dean of a nobleman who sends his servants on foolish errands on 1 April, predating the change. April Fool's Day was also an established tradition in Great Britain before 1 January was established as the start of the calendar year. In the Netherlands, the origin of April Fool's Day is often attributed to the Dutch victory in 1572 in the capture of Brill, where the Spanish Duke Alvarez de Toledo was defeated. Op 1 April verloor Alva zijn bril is a Dutch proverb which can be translated as on the 1st of April, Alva lost his glasses. In this case, bril, glasses in Dutch, serves as a homonym for Brill. This theory, however, provides no explanation for the international celebration of April Fool's Day. In 1686, John Aubrey referred to the celebration as Fool's Holy Day, the first British reference. On 1 April 1698, several people were tricked into going to the Tower of London to see the lions washed. Although no biblical scholar or historian is known to have mentioned a relationship, some have expressed a belief that the origins of April Fool's Day may go back to the Genesis flood narrative. In a 1908 edition of the Harper's Weekly cartoonist Bertha R. MacDonald wrote, "Authorities gravely back with it to the time of Noah and the Ark." The London Public Advertiser of March 13, 1769, printed, "The mistake of Noah sending the dove out of the ark before the water had abated on the first day of April, and to perpetuate the memory of this deliverance it was thought proper, whoever forgot so remarkable a circumstance, to punish them by sending them upon some sleeveless errand, similar to that ineffectual message, upon which the bird was sent by the patriarch." 28 December, the equivalent day in Spain and Hispanic America, is also the Christian day of celebration of the Day of the Holy Innocents. The Christian celebration is a religious holiday in its own right, but the tradition of pranks is not, though the latter is observed yearly. In some regions of Hispanic America after a prank is played, the cry is made, "Innocente palomita que te dejaste engañar, you innocent little dove that let yourself be fooled." Not to be confused with another meaning of palomita, which means popcorn in some dialects. In Argentina, the prankster says, "Que la inocencia te valga," which roughly translates as advice to not be as gullible as the victim of the prank. In Spain, it is common to say just inocente, which in Spanish can mean innocent or gullible. In Colombia, the term is used as pasala por inocentes, which roughly means, "Let it go, today it's Innocents' Day." In Belgium, this day is also known as the Day of the Innocent Children or Day of the Stupid Children. It used to be a day where parents, grandparents, and teachers would fool the children in some way. But the celebration of this day has died out in favor of April Fool's Day. Nevertheless, on the Spanish island of Menorca, Dia de Engañar, Fooling Day, is celebrated on 1 April because Menorca was a British possession during part of the 18th century. In Brazil, the Dia da Mentira, Day of the Lie, is also celebrated on 1 April due to the Portuguese influence. First day of a new month. In many English-speaking countries, mainly Britain, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand and South Africa, it is accustomed to say pinch and a punch for the first of the month or an alternative, typically by children. The victim might respond with a flick and a kick for being so quick, and the attacker might reply with a punch in the eye for being so sly. Another custom in Britain and North America is to say rabbit rabbit upon waking on the first day of a month for good luck. Reception. The practice of April Fool pranks and hoaxes is controversial. The mixed opinions of critics are epitomized in the reception to the 1957 BBC Spaghetti Tree hoax, in reference to which, newspapers were split over whether it was a great joke or a terrible hoax on the public. The positive view is that April Fools can be good for one's health because it encourages jokes, hoaxes pranks, and belly laughs, and brings all the benefits of laughter, including stress relief and reducing strain on the heart. There are many best of April Fool's Day lists that are compiled in order to showcase the best examples of how the day is celebrated. Various April Fool's campaigns have been praised for their innovation, creativity, writing, and general effort.